Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Smaller quarters than we're used to, so bear with us, please. Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Committee of Adjustments. This meeting is to consider applications for minor variances and consent held under the authority of the Planning Act of Ontario. Please keep in mind that the intent of this process is to review the proposal that is before us, listen to the evidence, and then make a decision. This process is not intended to be used to resolve any concerns or disputes that may exist between the town, individuals, or organizations. If a request for a deferral is made and the committee grants such a request, the committee, after consultation with the Secretary-Treasurer, will set a new hearing date. No further notice will be provided unless there are changes to the application. In order to conduct an effective and efficient hearing, we have adopted the following process. The owner or authorized agent will be given the opportunity, if so desired, to briefly explain to us the basis of the application, answer any questions that may arise of the hearing. A maximum of 5 minutes will be provided for this presentation. You need to state your full name and address for the record. Any materials submitted to the committee for review will remain the property of this committee. Any submissions beyond the 5 minutes will be at the discretion of the committee. All persons attending the hearing who wish to support or oppose the application must also state their name and address for the record. A maximum of 5 minutes will be provided to make your presentation. All remarks and questions are to be directed to the chairperson of the committee. Any submissions beyond those 5 minutes will also be directed and at the discretion of the committee. If there are several speakers sharing the same view, please select a spokesperson to represent the group's opinion. We do want to hear the views of everyone. However, covering the same points will not address or advance your case. The owner or agent will then be provided with further 5 minutes to respond to comments made by any interested parties, answer any questions from the committee members. If the owner or agent has any concerns found in staff reports, particularly any proposed conditions, this would be the opportunity to advise us of that. The matter will then be taken into committee for a decision, and that will mark the end of all discussion. Once the committee makes an oral decision, any person desiring a copy must file the Secretary-Treasurer at the meeting a written request for notice of the decision. A green sheet is provided at the back of the room for that purpose. Please note that you must make a written request in order to be included in the list that is used by the Ontario Municipal Board for the giving of any subsequent notice of appeal. Written notice of the committee's decision will be mailed no later than 10 days for minor variances and 15 days for consents to the applicant, the owner, agent, and any other person who has filed a written request for such notice. If you do not agree with the committee's decision, you may appeal to the Ontario Municipal Board, and the last day of appeal for that decision to the OMB will be noted on the decision. If no appeal is received within the prescribed timeframe, the decision of the committee becomes final and binding, and the Secretary-Treasurer will notify the applicant through written correspondence. People attending this committee are asked to be courteous, respectful to the members of the committee, town staff, and other people in attendance tonight. Tonight's meeting will also be live streamed and available for future viewing on the town's live stream page at oakville.ca/live. We do ask that you turn your cellular phones and pagers to at least silent, as they do tend to interfere with the audio system. Thank you. I guess we'll start the meeting. So, do we have any regrets for this evening? We don't. Our chairperson is on his way. He is just delayed. Any declaration of pecuniary interests? Mr. Hardcastle?
Madam Chair, I'll be, in an abundance of caution, I'll be declaring a conflict on item A, CAV A013-2018 at 120 Westside Drive.
Okay, thank you. Now I will be taking requests for a deferral or withdrawal of any applications. Okay. Proceed, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Russ Cheeseman, and I'm the solicitor. I'm here on matter CAV A008-2018, which is, I believe, is the third matter
yes.
on the agenda.
Yes.
I'm here this evening to request a deferral of this matter to a subsequent meeting. We've just received the comments of the planning department on Friday. We've had the opportunity to review them. We'd like the opportunity to discuss the comments with the planning department and perhaps to tweak the application.
Okay, thank you. A show of hands for those who are in attendance for CAV 008 of 2018. Hi, sir. Are you in?
He's with me.
Oh, he's with you, okay. Anyone here who is not with Mr. Cheeseman? Fabulous, thank you. Mr. Cheeseman, we're happy to have the time for you to work with staff and come to a better arrangement. Are there any comments from my colleagues? Okay. All those in support of the deferral? Thank you. Your application has been deferred. You'll see the Secretary Treasurer for the next available date and further notices.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next. Mr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, my name is David Capper with Glenn Schnarr & Associates. Our address is 10 Kingsbridge Garden Circle, Mississauga, Ontario, L5R 3K6. Here on item number 7, CAV 012-2018, for the municipal address at 507 Truedale Drive, Surrey Court.
Okay, can I have a show of hands for those here for CAV 012 of 2018? Okay, I see none. Thank you, Mr. Capper. Ladies and gentlemen, deferral, motion for deferral. All those in support? Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sir, thank you.
Hi, my name is Joseph Kachopa, and it's item number 9, 1495 Pembroke.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, anyone here for CAV 014 at 2018 at 1495 Pembroke Drive? Okay, I see none. You'd like a deferral, I suppose, to work on the application?
Yes.
Okay, gentlemen, a motion to defer accepted? All those in support? Thank you. Your application has been
Thank
deferred.
you.
You'll see the Secretary Treasurer for the subsequent date when you're ready with your new application. All right. Oh, one more. Go ahead, sir.
Sam Razuki for 421 Lees Lane, CAV dash 008 007 sorry
Okay.
dash 2018.
Okay, perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, CAV 007 of 2018 at 421 Lees Lane. Anyone here for this item? Hi, sorry, I can't see you all. Are you here for support or in opposition? Opposition. Okay, just for you to know that our procedure allows for a deferral in order for the applicant to work with staff, and hopefully you'll have a better application. Are there any objections to the applicant having that deferral? We appreciate you taking the time and coming out. Okay, thank you. So you're doing the deferral, I'm assuming, to work with staff and
That's right.
further the application? Okay, thank you. Gentlemen, all those in support of the deferral? Your application has been deferred. You'll see the Secretary
And
Treasurer.
also deferral fee would be...
Yes, and there is a deferral fee for the deferrals,
Yeah.
if you're not aware of that. Okay,
No problem.
thank you. Your application has been deferred. Thank you. Okay, so our first item on the agenda this evening is CAV 006 of 2018 at 230 Reynolds Street. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Terry Martino. I'm an architect with Gren Weiss Architect and Associates at 341 Kerr Street, and we are the agents for Mr. and Mrs. Valley at 230 Reynolds Street.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Martin. Ladies and gentlemen, can I see a show of hands for CAV 006 of 2018? Who's here for this application? Okay, I'll just take a moment to explain that according to our bylaws, we are able to forego on the presentation from the applicant if there are no interest or opposition today at the meeting. It just facilitates our meetings. Are there any questions of Mr. Martino for the application? No, I see none. Do you have anything further to add? We've all done our site visits. We're able to take this matter into committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to draw your attention to, I believe the committee has 4 letters of support for the application. I believe they're in the file.
Yes, thank you. We do have them on file,
you.
and we do note them on record. Any further questions? Okay. I'm happy to entertain a motion for this application.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You need to pull it into red. There you go.
Madam Chair, I'm happy to move the application be approved as applied for, finding that it meets the four tests of the Planning Act. I'll note that it's an appropriate addition in the Old Oakville neighborhood. And I would also, as the applicant indicated, note that there are letters of support from the community. I would make that approval subject to the development proceeding in general accordance with drawings provided and that a building permit issued within 2 years.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. You can take that. There's an additional condition.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Madam Chair. My mistake, I did mean to impose the condition as recommended by staff that development proceed in general accordance with approved heritage permit plans.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Zalowski. So you're familiar with these conditions?
I am, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. The motion to approve, subject to those two conditions. All those in support? Okay, your application has been accepted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Which ones have we done?
Number 4 right now. We're speaking 2 and 3, they're on deferred.
Okay. Good evening, and sorry I was caught in some traffic here, so we dealt with number 1, deferred. Deferred, we're on to number 4?
Yes.
All right, well, thank you for starting the show. Appreciate it. Who's here on application CABA 009-2018 at 490 Stanfield Drive?
Hi, Wayne Stoyles at 490 Stanfield Drive.
All right. Good evening, sir. Can we get your address is 490? So
Yeah.
you're the, okay, thank you. Is anyone here this evening that has an interest in this application, CABA 009-2018 at 490 Stanfield Drive? This is one that's been recommended with conditions. Seeing none, members, you've done your site visit, read the staff report. With the application, would you like to proceed on the application? Sir, is there anything you wish to add beyond what we currently have on our information base here?
No.
Okay, I think under those circumstances, we can take this matter to committee and make a decision. Who would like to move a recommendation? Mr. Hardcastle, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Having reviewed the materials and attended the site and reviewed the staff report, I'm satisfied that the requested variances conform to the 4 tests of the Act. I'll put forward a motion of approval subject to 2 conditions. The first being that the proposed additions be constructed in general accordance with the plans as submitted. The second being that the approval will expire within 2 years of the date of the decision if a permit has not been issued. I would note that there were no members of the public present to make presentations or deputations with respect to this matter.
Okay. Thank you for that, sir. Discussion on recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support? And no one opposed, sir, your application being approved.
Thank you.
All right, we'll proceed to application CABA 10-2018. This is at 69 Dunn Street. Good evening. Can we have your name and address for the record?
Good evening. My name is Christina Ferreira, and I'm at 1189 6th Line in Oakville.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ferreira. Again, is there anyone here this evening that has an interest in application CABA 10-2018 at 69 Dunn Street? Okay, this is another situation where staff have recommended support. Members, this is a heritage permits required on this one. Members, you have any questions in the end of clarification? Anything you wish to add to the application?
No, thank you.
All right, so it looks like we can take this matter to committee. Who would like to move a recommendation? Thank you, Mr. Charlebois.
Just take some.
What's up?
No, it says go red.
Well, it needs to go red, maybe I'll shut mine off and see if you go red. Why don't you just amplify your voice?
I can do that. Mr. Chairman, having conducted my site visit as well as reviewed the applicant's written submission as well as the town's staff report, also taking into account that there are no objections or letters of support from the public, I find that this particular application does meet the four tests of the Planning Act. I'm going to recommend approval, subject to the condition that the proposed carport be constructed in general accordance with the approved heritage permit plans, and subject further to the condition that the approval will expire 2 years from the date of this decision if the proposed development does not proceed or the building permit is not issued.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Is there a discussion recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support? No one opposed, your application.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening. Application CABA 11-2018 at 1252 Grosvenor Street. Good evening, sir. Can we have your name and address for the record?
Good evening. My name is Dylan Dewsbury and I'm from Design Plan Services at 900 the East Mall, Etobicoke. And I'm the authorised agent of the owners of 1252 Grosvenor Street.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here again that has an interest in application CABA 11-2018 at 1252 Grosvenor Street?
Yeah, we do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. You're here in support or opposition or just want to learn something?
One learn for now.
Okay. The reason why I ask is our procedural bylaw allows us, as you probably noticed, to dispense of the full public hearing or presentation where it's warranted. But we'll ask the agent to give us an overview and hopefully that answers your questions. If not, I'll invite you to come down and share your concerns with us.
Do you want us to tell you that first? Or?
You know what? That's usually helpful.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm kind of short, so I'm trying to see your, I don't want to be rude. No, so why don't you just quickly, no, just come quickly forward.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's okay. We want to record this forever and ever and ever, watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you just give us your name and address for the record, you can come forward.
Oh my God, okay.
No, it's okay, listen, we'll...
Hello, it's okay.
Hi.
I'm Lise Clark.
Okay. and you're-
1258 Grosvenor.
Okay, thank you. So what we do normally is allow the agent to do the presentation and we allow you to express whatever you need to express and then the agent comes back. But it's also useful if the agent knows in advance sort of what your concerns are. Take a little bit out of order, but we'll give everyone a fair opportunity to express in there anything they wish. So maybe you can tell us quickly the nature of what brought you down here. And then that gives the agent an opportunity to focus on that and other things as well, and then we'll invite you back.
Okay, that's fine. Because there was a few of us that were worried and concerned, and I said, well, I'm gonna go, so, because I'm right next door. And I'm not the driveway side, I'm the other side. Okay, so I was worried you guys were gonna come back really far. I wasn't sure, and I don't think you're gonna go over more. It didn't look like that by the application, but I didn't bring it.
So this is the site plan.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take the questions and then we're gonna put on there a document where you can answer those questions. And then when you come up, you can focus in on it. So
Yes.
you're
Okay, and
interested to know the
in the
location
street.
of the house in
Yeah.
relation to the existing house. If you're going back further, you're coming out more and things like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I know
And-
there's driveway side. Okay, I know I don't care, but I thought she might be here.
Okay.
And, yeah, okay.
So they,
I got that down now.
okay, so why don't you have a seat nearby? So there you go, sir. They want to know how the new house relates to the existing house, and then you can share with us an overall summary. Maybe you can give us a little summary of what the application is so we can put it in context for everyone.
Absolutely. So the applicant is proposing a one-storey rear addition and second floor addition to the existing dwelling, as well as constructing a new detached garage. The applicant is seeking relief from the zoning bylaw to recognise the existing setback of the driveway, permit a reduced front yard to accommodate a covered porch, and to permit an increased height for the detached garage. The proposed covered porch is the only portion of the dwelling that will encroach into the required front yard. As shown in the site plan, the bulk of the dwelling will be set back 7.94 metres. A one-storey addition will be set back the permitted 6.94, and only the covered porch will encroach into the front yard. The porch will not have any adverse impacts on neighbouring property or the streetscape, as it is open and only extends half the width of the dwelling. Relief is also sought from the zoning bylaw for the height of the detached garage. The height of the garage is taken from the average grade surrounding the structure, as shown on the elevations.
Are you just changing the shed garage that's sitting there?
That one's being removed,
Oh, okay.
and then this is a new detached garage.
Gotcha, okay.
The height of the garage is taken from the average grade surrounding the structure, and as shown on the elevations, the grade is irregular at the rear of the property, and therefore the height is exaggerated. The physical height of the accessory structure is 5.84 metres, and while the overall height is still higher than the maximum permitted 4 metres, the sidewalls and gutters are below 3.3 metres in height. The pitched roof design in a traditional style was chosen to be consistent with the roof design of the dwelling. It is also noted that a detached garage is consistent with the character of the neighbourhood. The town has also made us aware of the fact that the garage encroached into a utility easement at the rear of the property, and as such removed it closer to the dwelling, increasing the setback to the rear property by to 1.37 metres. So in our opinion, the variances are minor in nature and maintain the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw, as it results in a development that maintains the character of the neighbourhood and will have no impact on surrounding neighbours or the streetscape. Therefore, the application meets all 4 tests of the Planning Act, and we respectfully request the committee to approve the minor variance.
Sir, that plan that you have, you show there, is different than the plan we have.
Yes, I have 7 copies here for you.
Okay.
It's
Because it was on the easement and you moved it back effectively.
Yes.
That's what you
So
said.
this is the new site plan, and it's just moved out of the easement.
We had that? Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
You can give a set to the resident there as well, okay? Please.
So it's gonna be a big two-story.
Well, hang on, we'll get you on the show in a minute.
Oh,
Right now,
that's
it's
weird.
still his
Yeah,
his nickel.
okay.
Sorry, through you, Mr. Chairman, my mic isn't working, so I'm going to speak up a little louder. In staff's comments, we identified that the location of the shed or the detached garage was within the easement. We believe this to be a minor alteration to the overall context of the application and felt it was appropriate for the applicant to submit revised plan this evening. It did not affect the nature of the variance. The height variance for the detached structure remains unchanged.
Okay.
And all the variances remain the same. So the package that's just been provided to you by the applicant is a reflection of the site plan, which shows the detached garage moved out of the easement, and all other aspects of the application remain the same.
Okay, thank you, that's helpful. All right, any questions of the agent at the moment? See none? Okay. Have a seat, sir, and then we'll ask Lisa, correct?
Lees.
Lees, and the last name Lees?
Clark.
Clark? Okay, you can come up.
Okay.
You can ask your questions now. Is there
I know.
anything that you heard that's of concern, or any further items of
I
clarification?
don't, well, okay, so the only thing you guys would probably care about, I mean, obviously, you know it's all little bungalows and little, so this is gonna be the first monster home going in. There's a few of us concerned about that, but I know there's nothing that can be done about that.
Well, a monster home in the context of the surrounding neighborhood, right? I mean, they're
Yeah.
not seeking a variance on density or height of the building.
No, I get that, according to all your codes, it's gonna be fine.
Well, not all of them, except 3.
Well, okay. So my other concern was my tree. It's an extremely old locust tree. I know that they might need it, some of it cut back, I'm not sure.
You're at 1248, no.
1258.
1258.
So, but I know at one point something had happened to the tree and it was done accidentally when the fence line went in, and it took out a whole branch of the tree, and I guess there was some work that restored it. So I just thought I would put that out there too.
So this is a tree in the rear
Yeah,
that has quite a big canopy.
yeah. It's massive, yeah, it's massive. So I'm sure they're not gonna do anything, it's in my yard, so it's gonna be fine that way. It's more the root stuff and all of that stuff, there's probably nothing that can be done. It can't be nicely penned like you guys do, it's more the other stuff, so.
Right. Well, they require a site alteration permit, and through that process, these type of concerns are noted.
Yeah, okay.
And they'll need to do a tree report, and the agent can confirm that to make sure to take all measures necessary to protect
Yeah, okay.
our trees.
Yeah, sure.
So that would be part of that process.
Yeah, okay.
But again, you know.
I know if it happens, it happens.
Your concerns are, no, but you know, we know more today than we used to know in the past.
Okay.
And this is much more on our top of awareness, so, you know, the fact that you noted the concern highlights some importance for the agent as well.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak to the committee on this application? On application CAV A 011, 2018? Okay, see none. Sir? So you heard the concerns about the big locust tree in the back, and I saw you nodding, which you're very familiar with it?
Oh, yeah, we have got an arborist report that's been done that will be submitted to the town as part of the site alteration process.
So can you share that with Ms. Clark?
The arborist report?
Well, not today, but...
Oh, yes, yeah.
Phone number,
Certainly, yeah.
share with Ms. Clark so she understands the health of her tree as well?
Yes, yeah.
And the measures you're taking, so everyone's informed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got a certified arborist that will be taking he's already taken a survey of all the trees and has measures to protect all of the trees shown to be protected. So
Yeah.
I can provide that to you.
Okay.
Well, perfect. Okay, any further questions?
Are you changing the foundation, or are you using the foundation?
It'll be built.
Are you going back?
It's built on the existing foundation of
I'll
the.
be asked that by everybody when I get back, so I need to know.
So the question is, for Ms. Clark, follow-up question for, I guess, your husband, or follow-up
Yeah.
question through you?
Yeah, we're all in line, so are you
Right.
pushing back with your,
So there is a one-story addition to the rear.
Yes,
That's
okay.
the part that's
I
not
get
being
that.
built on the existing foundation.
okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just alterations to the existing.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Plus the
okay,
second
thank you,
story.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. We'll take this back to committee then. Members, who would like to move a recommendation on this application? Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The application before us is, in my opinion, minor in nature. The addition to the home is modest and it fits within the envelope of the building with the minor backyard barn addition that's not visible to the streetscape, as well as the minimal increase in the height to the accessory structure in the garage. Having reviewed the comments from staff as well as done the site visit, I believe that I'd like to put a motion to approve this application subject to the condition that the proposed detached garage and additions be constructed in general accordance with the revised plans dated January 22nd of 2018, as well as our regular condition that the proposed development, the approval will expire within 2 years if the proposed development has not proceeded and/or a building permit not issued. I'll note that the applicant was able to answer most of the questions posed by the neighbors, and there is a letter of objection on record that is also noted.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the recommendation, the special recommendation. Seeing none, all those in support, that application be approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll now turn our attention to application CAVA 12, 2018 at 507 Trudell.
Trudell was deferred.
That was deferred as well?
Yes. And so was Pembroke.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay, so West Side, so this is application CAVA 013 2018. And this, yes, Mr. Hardcastle has a conflict on that. So we had 4 deferrals. Yeah. Anything I said? Sir, good evening. Name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Len Angelisi of Len Angelisi Design, 37 Sherman Avenue North in Hamilton. I'm acting as the agent on behalf of the homeowners.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so is there anyone here this evening that has an interest in application CAB 13-2018? This is at 120 West Side Drive. Okay, seeing none. Members, do you wish a presentation on this application? You've read the report. Did you site visit? Sir, is there anything you wish to add?
We have one more letter of support
Okay.
on top of the...
Yes.
Right, and I just also, we would like to clarify one thing in the comments given to us on Friday.
Yes.
I believe the last page of the comment, page 3, indicates a detached garage. I feel like that was actually for the last presentation. We were sent the incorrect. Yeah, could we be sent the email the correct final page?
It's going to be on decision, the final.
Yeah.
Like the...
Okay.
Correct.
So we're all over that. Basically, you'll get the correct thing when the decision comes.
Excellent.
Okay, so is there any questions? Any? No, seeing none. Okay, we'll take this back to committee. Who would like to move a recommendation? Mr. Tulowski, I see you have your cast off.
Cast is off.
Oh, well done.
Starting to return to normal.
Good progress. Oh, let's have your recommendation then.
Chair, I find this to be a very appropriate design for this neighborhood and find that the variance meets the four tests of the Planning Act. And, happy to recommend approval of the application as applied for, subject to development proceeding in general accordance with the drawings provided to the committee and the permit issue within 2 years. And I would also note significant support from the neighborhood.
Thank you, Mr. Tulowski. Discussion on the recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support? No one opposed, your application being approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Maybe you can ask Mr. Hardcastle to reattend when you're... Thank you. Okay, I guess we're down to our last application, CABA 15-2018 at 21 Thomas Street. We'll just have to slow down a bit and get Mr. Hardcastle in here. Okay, good evening, sir. Name and address for the record?
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, my name is Alex Temporelli. I'm principal of ATA Architects. I'm an architect and heritage consultant and representing the owners. And I have with me some update drawings I want to distribute.
Okay, while you do that, we're going to ask you to let us know what the update to the drawings are, and then see if there's anyone here this evening that has an interest in application CAVA 15-2018 for 21 Thomas Street. Okay. So, sir, maybe you can proceed with the presentation, and as a starter, advise us what the changes are so we can reflect on that.
Mr. Chairman, we've had support for both the design and the size and location of the addition that we had proposed for the site. But in reviewing the project to the Heritage Committee, the decision of the Heritage Committee was that they wanted to have an addition that had a more historic character rather than a contemporary character. So the building is basically exactly the same as it was previously, except that, as I will show on this drawing, we've given it more of a heritage character so that it blends in with the original building. We're here today not for, I guess, approval of our design, but more because we'll be working with Heritage to make sure they're happy with all the components, but to get the acceptance of the setback. Basically, the building is set in line with the original house. It's approximately a foot back, slightly from the front. What we have done as you may see in the site plan, we've nipped in the addition so that it retains the shape of the original house. We've located it where there are no windows, other than the window in the staircase, which is our entrance, so we're not interrupting any windows at the back of the house. The main windows in the kitchen are in the kitchen area back and here. There's no disruption to the existing facade. The only minor change, before, because it was a more contemporary addition, we had a squared off recessed window to pick up what we've done here. Instead, we've used the angle that was on the original house to terminate the addition.
Okay, so yes, that's reflected in the site plan. You did a little bit of nip and tuck, basically.
Yes.
Not changing the essentials of the layout.
And in reality, our client's husband is a landscape architect who's maintained the house and extensively landscaped it. And although we mentioned this in our initial presentation, this modest little addition is really not going to be seen. It'll be hidden behind the garden area that will be slightly disrupted in the construction process, but everything, all the major pieces will be maintained and replanted as an existing situation. In fact, in order to do this, we're using helical piles, so there isn't a regular foundation, so that we can lightly place this addition into the site and retain the landscape area that already exists that our client created around the house. So we're asking at this point simply to get approval, and we have staff support, and we're in agreement with all the conditions that are set forward in the letter from, or the report from staff on this project.
Okay, thank you for that. So if you just have a seat not too far, unless there's any questions of Mr. Temporello? Okay. Matt? So, Mr. Temporello, just to confirm, you've been to Heritage Committee, and you worked with Heritage, you have a design that you're responding to, but you still need to get your heritage permit, and the first condition says, you know, satisfactory, substantially satisfactory with the plans, subject to a heritage permit to allow some flexibility and continued negotiations with that committee?
Yes, we understand that.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, name and address for the record?
Hi, my name's Jane Hawkrigg, and I live at 65 Navy Street in Oakville. And I'm actually here before you. We made a submission to the Heritage Committee, and that was on January the 30th, that we were opposed to the proposal, the design proposal, and asked that it be turned down and set back to design an addition that would be more complementary to the existing street character, minimizing streetscape impact and using construction materials. Something about where I'm standing that's irritating, I apologize, to be more visually sympathetic. So we've not seen these designs. We just wanted to, I've read the staff recommendation, and we just think we want to be on the record that our sort of support for this minor variance is very much contingent on the Heritage approval of the design. I just want to be on the record for that.
Okay. All right. It sounds like you've had some influence with the committee because they are contemplating redesign.
Yes.
So it's not really so much as a variance, but because the variance feeds this design or this proposal, you want to make sure that the two work together.
Absolutely.
So I guess there's another opportunity maybe to go before the Heritage Committee. Is that the case?
Yes, we've not been advised of when that will be going to Heritage Committee, and also have not seen these drawings. And obviously, it's only been a week, so I'm not being critical of that. It just
Mr. Temporelli, do you have an extra set of these?
Sure. Yes,
Can you share that with the deputy, please? So there's opportunities to study it?
Yep, perfect.
You have the original plans?
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay. Is there any questions? See none.
And is there, who do I contact
Yes, we were
about
gonna get you
timing
some. I
and working with
mentioned that,
staff?
sorry. Maybe you need to amplify like me.
Sure. So to respond to the first inquiry, as indicated in the condition of this minor variance, it is subject to the development in accordance with the heritage approved plan. So if the Heritage Committee accepts this proposal, so be it. If not, it may continue to change through that process. I would encourage you to get in touch with Elaine Eigel, the planner for the Heritage Committee, to determine when this item would return. I believe that they actually are waiting for the decision of the committee to continue to proceed, but you could reach out to her tomorrow.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you for your time, appreciate it. Anyone else wishing to speak to the committee? Seeing none, Mr. Temporelli, is there anything else you wish to add? Sir?
You know, we're trying to make everyone happy in terms of the design, and so I think...
Well, I encourage you to remain in contact with the deputy in here because they have an interest in the design, and like, since everything works together, it's, I guess, in everyone's best interest to have that dialogue continue to remain open.
And I just would say in regards to the setback, I don't think there's been ever any concern about the actual setback from anyone. In fact, we have a letter from the neighbor directly across the street which says that they have no opposition to the
Yes, we
setback.
have that as well. Okay, thank you. Any questions? All right, we'll take this matter to committee. So we do have a letter of support from the owners of 20 Thomas Street, Callis. Yes, Mr. Charlebois.
Mr. Chairman, having conducted my site visit and also reviewed the written application as well as the town's written staff report, taking into account the presentation here from the public as well as the presentation from the applicant, you know, to some extent noting these new drawings, although to be honest with you, they don't influence my decision here. I do find that, I should note too that there was, as was mentioned, there is one letter of support also from the public. I do find that this particular application does meet the 4 tests under the Planning Act, subject to the conditions that the proposed addition be constructed in general accordance with the approved heritage permit, and subject to the condition that the applicant prepare a tree preservation plan to the satisfaction of the Director of Planning, and a third condition that this approval will expire 2 years from the date of this decision if the proposed development does not proceed or a building permit is not issued.
Okay. Thank you for that recommendation. Discussion recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support? No one opposed, your application be approved. Okay, we have 2 more gentlemen in the back. Is there anything that did we miss an application, or were you here out of general interest?
No, it's a general interest to me. I saw the notice near my house, and I had a question on lot coverage.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys are...
Well, you know, we don't usually entertain open questions from the floor, but, you know, it would be an unusual, but I mean, we're here and you have our attention. What's the question? It's not related to any application, just a general question?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't give out advice or opinions, we just...
So I just saw the sign that there was a meeting at 7 o'clock.
Yes. Sure. So why don't we do this way? Miss Mahavlich will be here. You can always approach her.
Yes.
She is a walking encyclopedia in the town of Oakville, so she'll help you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have the minutes of December 19, 2017. Ms. Mikhail and Mr. Charlebois were not here. Of those minutes. Thank you, Mr. Hardcastle. So the minutes of December 19 have been moved, and January the 16th, which was last week. So let's do the 19th first, because the 16th is there. So all those in support of those minutes? Okay, they got approved. And then the minutes of January the 16th, everyone was here except Mr. Hardcastle and Mr. Talowski. So who would like to move those minutes? Move those minutes and discussion on those minutes? Seeing on all those in support? Those minutes have been approved. So we have the December 19th and January 16 minutes approved and adjournment.
Questions?
Yes. So hang on, let's get the adjournment first. All those in support of the adjournment? Moved by Ms. Mikhail. All those in support, we're adjourned at 7:45, sir. Ask away.